Let's go have a look at an M3 getting pulled apart. Sometimes that code will come because of a mechatronic failure. That should be attached like that, but she ain't. So that's why we like to take it on the highway so we get a proper drive adaptation done. So this is Joe. Joe's the boss here. He's never really here anyway. All right, so we're gonna do this. So for anyone who wants to see what an M3 clutch looks like. So this is the clutch position sensor, clutch temperature sensor that we have to replace. Obviously the filter, little cover that goes on the side of the box. And then this is what the new clutch assembly looks like. Like I said, I'm quite interested to see how bad the actual original clutch is. These M3 clutches are pretty strong. I'd say the two strongest dual clutch transmissions would have to be an M3 DCT or an M4 DCT and a Porsche PDK. Bill, would you agree? A Porsche PDK clutch, strong as an ox, and an M3 DCT clutch, strong as an ox. The trick of the trade, eh? We were making our own performance clutches, particularly for these, and we used a lot of our performance clutches in a lot of the production cars. But he did 12 hours, he did 6 hours, he did everything. And every few months or so after big race meets, we would take our clutch out just to see what the damage was. And nothing. We actually ended up reusing the clutch every single time until we said, all right, look, now we've got a bit more clearance than what we'd like. Let's put a new one in there. But obviously he had other performance clutches in there beforehand, and he used to say when he was coming around the straight on Eastern Creek, he'll downshift, downshift, downshift. And as he goes to take off again, he goes, the back end would slide out. With ours, it didn't, because we had the right clearance. Like we said, this one's had a hard time, right? And it was slipping. However, and it's tuned, but if you have a look at this, anyone would know a little bit about clutches, would know that there's no hot spots. There's no hot spots. This is why a BMW DCT clutch, in my opinion, and probably Bill's opinion, is probably the strongest there is. You can't beat them, can you? See, now, most manufacturers will have, I just they're thick as well. Like, look at the size of the thickness of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that's just clutches off. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, that's with the tune, that's with track work, that's with everything. So it's done good. What makes them stronger? I don't know. I just think I think Gertrag makes a really good box. Gertrag have always made a really good box. They're a well-engineered transmission. They're strong. I don't know. I couldn't say why. I think maybe they use a lot of a good clutch material. Obviously, clutches aren't just clutches. Clutch material is everything. And even when we rebuild transmissions and we recondition transmissions, for us, the most important part of a transmission rebuild, or the most important part of a transmission full stop, is clutch material. That's just the most important thing. So we don't like to use inferior products, full stop. Drivability, it goes down the drain when you use a pretty bad clutch or clutch packs. So we like to tend to stay as close to or OE as possible. And in 99% of the times we prefer to use OE material, full stop, because I think the OE material is the best material. And we don't like to use aftermarket stuff. But I guess that's what comes down to why this is so good, because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that is, look at, like, you can see that it's not even worn. Like, it's perfect. All right, so he's put it in park. Yeah, so he's put it in park. So he's used a cable tie to take the parking port away. To release the park. So now we can spin the actual transmission. So now he's put in the clutch. So he's removed the clutch. Obviously, we just inspect it to see what's going on. You've got to put one of these in too. Yeah. That's the clutch temp sensor. So now he's spinning the clutch. Why are you spinning the clutch for, Bill?
Well, we have this nut here which locks it in place.
Oh, there you go. So that's,
See that?
there you go. See that? It's just locked.
Locked in place.
That's it.
I'll just show you again. I'll just release it.
So he's going to release it again to see why. All right, so.
Okay, now that it's come up, you'll feel it locked in. Bang, locked in place. Doesn't need much. That's it. As the car drives, it actually tightens the nut.
Does it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Doesn't come loose.
So that's the clutch being swapped.
We've got cover and everything.
Now we're going to put the cover on.
Put a sensor on it.
Bill can do the clutch sensor, the temp sensor, because you have to do the clutch temp sensor. A lot of the times they do come up with a clutch temp sensor code. Like I said, not to say that this is like I said, there is wear here, but it's not bad. Like it's wear. Like you do have to replace it, and at 100,000 Ks, it's and it's slipping. You got to replace it, but it's not like if you see this equivalent on say a RS3 or a Golf, mate, you'll be cooked.